what's up? Think you gon' play me, just know that I'm not one of them. Feel like I don't know you, don't come around, no invaders.
It's your boy Noto, back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And in today's video, we're going to discuss why sexually attractive men can't hang out with regular men. So I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, like once you become sexually attractive, and this is not what I'm talking about with some black pill type of perspective or nothing like that. I'm talking about having sexual magnetism. When a woman look at you and be like, damn, and they actually want to sleep with you and type deal, like, and stuff like that along those lines, bro. When you looking and you hitting on those type of cylinders, bro, and you'll know. I'm not talking about some conventionally like handsome and she'll walk up like, oh, he's handsome, he was this or the, no, it's not like that. This is a whole different type of spectrum. Right here, you happen to have a handsome face, that'll work as well, but this is not what I'm talking about. So let's clear the air with that first off. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the first thing, you just can't hang out with regular guys, bro. It just doesn't work for long term. Like, you could be cool, but you can't really just be hanging out. Like, you can't really be close with these guys. And one, like I always told you guys about the constant exposure game. Like when you be in an environment where you're constantly exposing yourself to chicks and they're being constantly exposed to you as a sexually attractive man, and it's just making them more and more attracted to you with more encounters and stuff like that. But the constant exposure can work with those guys as well that's hanging out with you. It could be the guys that you knew for a while, especially if you knew them since like elementary school for a long time, for years and stuff like that, right? And they used to you being this certain type of guy. So if you like the glow up type of guy, you definitely gonna see the changes along the journey. But if you was already that guy that was considered sexually attractive, and you had women already coming at you, and you got in the gym early, and you was already on game early, you already know what I'm talking about. You already know what I'm talking about. You can't hang out with guys that don't get chicks, bro. It's just plain and simple. And that's what I mean by the regular guys. I'm not saying that as in you're like above them or you're better than them or some type of narcissistic type of thing. I'm just keeping it dead up honest, especially from my experiences, seeing it from other people's experiences. Because me, on my journey, I had people that was cool with me when I was big and fat and wasn't really hitting on much, and we was all on the same level. But when I started making my transformation and the muscles were popping, I was lost a lot of weight. The girls were starting to choose on me and stuff like that. I started running into a lot of problems with the guys that stayed the same. Because they be so used to you being one way. They so used to you being one way, bro. So they can't accept the fact that girls are choosing on you and not choosing on them. Like, it's gonna make them feel some type of way if they trying to go up and talk to a group of girls and you hang back and the girls ask them who you is. That's gonna hit them. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna hit them. They not gonna like that. That's gonna make them feel like less. They'll be like, oh, what? Then they're gonna be thinking in their head, because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's only gonna take one time for that to happen. It's gonna take one time for them to choose on you, for the girls to choose on you in front of them. And now they all of a sudden they marking you as an enemy, as, oh, who do you think he is, and all that kind of stuff like that. Once they get that in their head, it's over with. It's over with. I done had homeboys that I lost because of stuff like that, over girls. And that's another thing too. Like, we was talking about this in the comment section. You can't tell guys your experiences you gonna have as a sexually attractive man. One, they ain't gonna believe it because they ain't going through it. Two, they don't want to believe it because it's you. And three, it might end up being the girl that they wanted, that you talking about. So you thinking that you talking to somebody that's your homie, that's cool, that okay, I want to share a story or whatever, and it turned out it might be the girl that he been trying to get for a year or for 2 years or however long. It might have been the girl that he had his radar on, that he been trying to get. And then all of a sudden, because I done had that happen before, like I done told her about the girl, dang man, I wanted her, man, and then after that I'm like it was funny energy ever since after that, bro. Like, you can't hang out with these regular guys, bro. You just can't. If it's a guy that's always like fixated on getting chicks, always fixated, hey man, where the girls at, man, where the girls at, oh, I want to go out here where all the girls at. Like, they going from every venue, always worrying about where all the chicks at. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to go some places where a lot of girls gonna be at, but if they like fixated on it and you a sexually attractive man that ain't really worrying about stuff like that, and you come by it easier, Those guys right there in your clique, they might be fun and all that, bro. But I'm gonna tell you right now, once they see the dynamics in play, and once they see how easily you can get it, and as opposed to them, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. And then the more you hang out with them, like I said, the constant exposure, they're gonna constantly see. It's gonna be in their face that you don't have to do as much as they doing. You're not as excited jumping it around and trying to jump through the hoops and all that stuff like that. You got chicks choosing on you and stuff like that. See, where it would work at first is if, and this is a horrible position to be in. I hated it because I was in this position at one point in time. I had to get out that group because it was stressful. But they want you around because they know that you can get chicks, and having you around, like, it makes it easier for like talking to a group of chicks and stuff like that. And it worked. It definitely worked. And I was thinking it's cool because it was my homeboys. You know, we can go around, we could talk. You know, I'm out, and in my opinion, I just want to be like, you know what, I want to help my dogs get some girls. You know, whatever. So I just went on with it. But you're gonna see time after time, you just really just getting used as a billboard. And that's not me saying that I'm like the most handsome guy or whatever. They just seen me. They seen me in action. So they already seen what was going on with me talking to chicks and all that kind of stuff. So they didn't peep that. And now all of a sudden, having me around ain't such a bad idea. Now these was guys I used to clap up. I'm cool with them, hung with them from time to time. But now all of a sudden they wanted to kind of just be on me, like kind of like leeches almost. And they wanted to be around, but okay, yeah, the girl. So they was extra confident of going to talk to groups of chicks when they had me around and all that. And a lot of times it would work out. You see what I'm saying? But it was getting to the point where it was it was getting stressful for me because I was looking at it as, you know, I'm helping them out and stuff like that. But after a while, you just start to see that, dang, it's a pattern here. And these guys really just depending on my presence for them to get chicks and stuff like that. Like whenever I see them by themselves, they ain't really doing that. They trying to offer to buy the chicks drinks and all that. But whenever I'm around, they want to conventionally approach the girls like they get them that way. You see what I'm saying? And I end up usually doing most of the talking and all that stuff like that, and like starting off the interaction, and then everything else just kind of fumble on through as well. But the thing is, you can't hang out with them either because it just, even if you feel like you helping them out, even if you feel like you cool and all that, you feel like you doing a good deed, it ain't in your benefit, bro. It ain't in your benefit. And that was another thing I had to get out. I had to get out of that situation because it wasn't suitable for me. It wasn't suitable for me. You get to the point where you feel like you're getting used and stuff. So you end up telling them about the girl that, like, you end up telling them a story about girls that you was smashing or girls that want you and whatever and stuff like that. They end up finding out about it. They ended up saying, oh, they wanted to talk to that chick and all that stuff like that. Bro, it's just, they're so fixated. When they so fixated on the chicks, bro, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, bro. And you wonder why, like, dang, why I have so many problems having friends and like having some homies and cool and stuff like that. And the crazy part about it is, you knew these guys for a while. So in your mind, you want to compromise and be like, you know what? No, he wouldn't do me like that. No, he wouldn't talk shit behind my back to this chick and all that stuff. He be like, no, he won't try to turn on me behind some cat. But they will, and they have, and they will do it again. They will try to downplay your name to chicks to make you look bad or whatever, to make you seem less interesting, so they can get a crack at the chick. And all that really do is make the chick come and tell you about what they said, and then make the chick more intrigued with you. That's what I've experienced. I done had chicks come up and tell me about my homeboys, what they was doing, and I still was like, I didn't want to believe them. My supposed associate homeboys, I put it like that. The one like we was just like tight. I was only like two guys I'm like really like tight with. That never really like crossed me or nothing like that. But like these associate homeboys I had, bro, they was wilding. They was wild, and the guys I thought I was cool with, you know, we hang out from time to time, you know, like time to time. Mostly because we go out to the same places and stuff like that. So, you know, you end up having that crew where you cool with because you go out to the same establishments. That's why I call them homeboy associates. You know, we clap each other up when we see, probably hang out in the club a little bit. Maybe go out if it's an after party, or, you know, something like that. But only on those nightlife type terms, you know, or when it's like a mission type terms, like fun type terms. Never like on a regular day or come by and come talk and play games or have a discussion or something. Like, nah, it wasn't none of that. It was just like nightlife type deal. So if you hanging out with them, bro, it's just crazy. And another thing too, you not only do you have to watch out for like the regular guys, it can be guys that get chicks too, because they get pretty particular and they get pretty selfish and they get so caught up in certain types of chicks. So they can get chicks, but just because you get a particular chick that they want, they can have 3 chicks over here and you talk to one chick that they want, and all of a sudden it's a problem. So it ain't just the regular guys you can't hang with. Sometimes it's the other guys that get chicks too. You gonna have problems with them too. Sometimes, like, as a sexually attractive man, you gonna have to be hanging out alone a lot. You really gonna have to do your game alone, unless you like some guy around some guy. I'm saying the type of guy that'd be cool. It'll be that take one for the team guy. I've mentioned this before. The guy that's take one for the team. He don't really care like that. He ain't really in competition with you. He just gonna take what he can get for the night. He don't give a damn if you getting the baddest chicks or whatever, if the chicks looking at you or not him and stuff like that or whatever. Not saying that's gonna always be the dynamic, but I'm just saying, like, he don't care about that type of whatever. He, as long as he get his from whoever in the group. The take one for the team guy. So he could be the ugliest chick in the group. I ain't gonna say the ugliest chick. The chick that most wouldn't find that conventionally attractive, and he'll take that and be happy with it. And he'll be happy with it. Not saying, okay, I want to use that guy just to take it off the hands and stuff like that. But to be honest, it's not bad to have that kind of guy around, because he's not your competition. He's not worrying about where you go. Or he'll congratulate you and really mean it. Because all he care about is just getting him a piece. He don't give a damn about which one it is and who's getting what. As long as he get his, he don't really care about stuff like that. And even if he don't get his, he, you know, whatever. It's just not like he's not that fixated on it. But at the same time, whenever it comes to the friend group, he just cool. Another thing, like, guys that just ain't in competition with you. If they got their own calling card, but they ain't worried about what you get, and they good with staying in their lane, and they, you know, you good with staying in your lane, that can coexist too. So you hanging out with other guys that can get chicks, as long as they cool with who they get and they not worrying about who you get, and it can work like that too. But if it's along those lines right there, then you can hang out with guys like that. But if you can hang out with a regular guy, it's hard to hang out with those guys that don't get no chicks and fixated on chicks all the time. It's hard to do that. It's hard. You can't do it. It's always gonna be some type of tension. And then, especially if you go hang out with in a place where like some couples and it's like a lot of regular guys there, and then you end up having the girls choose on you and stuff like that. That's always been like a stressful type of situation for me, because then you be like, dang, I'm trying to respect this man, I'm trying to look away, but the chick choosing, like, stuff like that, like, that happens a lot. That's gonna happen a lot. And then the guy looking at you mean mugging because he feel like you trying to talk to his girl. He caught his girl looking at you. You ain't got nothing to do with none of that stuff. You just in there just to have a good time, just like everybody else. Or you just in there minding your business just like everybody else. You start mate guard, holding this chick, or all this other kind of stuff, and you causing problems without even trying to cause problems. See what I mean? So you can't hang out with guys that have girlfriends either. It's regular, none of that. That's definitely gonna be something else. When they got girlfriends and you going into a function and you hanging out with them and they got girls, but you single, or even if you got a girl and you hanging out with them and they got girls and y'all going on like some type of retreat, bro, that's still gonna be tension. That's still gonna be tension, because they gonna have the girl talk and they gonna be like, oh, your man, look, bro, that's all it takes. Them have one girl talk about you, and then all of a sudden you public enemy number one in the eyes of them. Those guys, they gonna start having meetings behind your back, plotting on you, all kind of stuff, bro. Like, you can't hang out with these guys, man. You can't be around these guys. You have to stay far the hell away from these types of guys. It's just the way it gotta be. And you really be much better off doing it that way. So hopefully I gave you guys some insight why you just can't hang out with regular guys. There's gonna always be some type of tension. There's always gonna be some type of problem. If they ain't improving themselves, they ain't getting the results with women that you get, and they just can't relate with you, bro. And no matter how much you want it to work out, because even if you've known them for a long time, that's what make it hard. You known them for a long time, you in your head you be like, oh, they'll never do this, they'll never cross me, they'll never, none of that stuff. Just because of past situations, bro. But when it comes to behind girls, bro, you'll be surprised what these guys will do behind these chicks, bro. You'll be surprised, bro. A lot of these guys turn on you for these chicks, bro. So you can't be hanging with these guys that are regular and they don't get the chicks like you do, don't have the same outcomes that you do with women. So do with that information what you will, guys. It's your boy Noto, back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And remember, guys, anybody can improve themselves if they willing to work at it. I'm out.